Good morning. Here is another what I have received from our local mobile food pantry or mobile food trucks. I actually have really been loving how our small footprint calls them food hampers. It's probably the old soul in me that makes me think of Jane Austen and all that. So I really want to dub this my food hamper. Let's talk about details. If you are new, because these videos get a lot of new looks, the mobile food pantry is something that is in my area. I believe it is available to other states, just depending on where you are. And how this works is each adult in a vehicle counts for one portion. So if there's 2 adults, you have 2 portions. I was one adult in my vehicle today. I did not have any siblings that I sometimes bring and whatnot. I have an older couple that used to live next door that give me what they do not want. And then I have another older couple that learned that we share with up to 5 other family members in our church, plus whatever here is in town. And they were like, oh, well, we'll share with you what we can't use as well. The mobile food pantry works so that you're in your vehicle, you're in lines, you have a number. The number is associated with your name and your address. They take the records and it basically makes sure that they have enough to feed the people that show up week by week. You never know what you're going to get. It is not a pick and choose. You take what you get in your car, trunk open, you drive up, they put it in, you drive off. Okay, I think that's everything. However, down in the description box below, there is a video that I have linked. There is also resources for you to find anything in your local area that would be of helpful or beneficial to you. So please check that out. Okay, I think I've covered everything. Let's move on. So the older couple went to the Tuesday mobile food pantry in their town. I have many towns within a 20-mile radius of me, and each one does a different thing. Since this older couple lives more in that town, if they can make it, they tend to show up. This is what they got, and that town, it's basically one vehicle, one portion. So it has nothing to do with adults or size of your family. One vehicle, one portion. So there are 2 teriyaki veggie and sauce mixes, which is phenomenal because I have some chicken that I need to use up and I was going to make a stir fry today. So this will be great for that. Are you shopping? That's what we don't need, David. We have 2 things of broccoli. Move this over here. We have some shredded iceberg lettuce. I think this looks a little slimy, so I'll probably give this to our bunny. Yep, Best by December 6th, which is about, today's the 14th, 8 days ago. So this will probably go to our bunny, which is completely fine. And then we have another vegetable medley mix. And sometimes the carrots can be pretty slimy in here. This is also December 6th, so sometimes those end up needing to be for the bunny, especially because they are organic. Those tend to go bad more swiftly. In today's mobile food pantry, this is part of today's, the kids helped me bring it in, so it's all just scattered. In today's mobile food pantry, each vehicle or each adult in the vehicle, each portion you got was 3 bags of grapes. So there's 3 bags here from one elderly or older couple, another from the other older couple, and these 3 were from mine, and then this was from yesterday's. So whatever mamas don't want in my church, we've had so many grapes, and I'm sure they are just as tired of them as we are. I will dehydrate them. I get suggestions to freeze them. We don't like frozen grapes. I cannot chew anything cold. It really hurts my teeth, and I have a feeling that I have children that are in a similar boat. Excuse me. So I tend to just dehydrate them, and then we have raisins on hand to eat. And my kids really love the dehydrated raisins. Better than the store-bought raisins. So whatever process is different, I don't know, but they like it. This was another box from Tuesday's Mobile Food Pantry. And so in here we have more sweet potatoes. We have some bananas. We have some limes, which is a fantastic thing. We go through these like crazy. Look at these beets. I was so excited to see these beets. I love beets. So I will roast some of those up. Look at these apples. I mean, that's like, man. So huge apples. 2 butternut squash, which I'm really excited about because the last 2 that I've made have actually been rotten. Another sweet potato. And a thing of cabbage. Go figure that I finally get all the cabbage cleaned out of my fridge that we get more. Okay, talking about sweet potatoes. So we got here, we got a big bag of russet potatoes, and all of this is more sweet potatoes. Yuck. Okay. You guys know my ongoing saga with the sweet potatoes. I feel like I get a box like this every week, and I manage to work through it every week, only to have it replenished. My kids saw this, and they were just ready to cry, like, oh, Mom. So, we're trying. We're very thankful, but it's kind of like eating beans and rice every single day. You get to the point where you just can't stomach another sweet potato. So I will probably be canning these. We've just been sweet potatoed out. I've made everything under the sun I can, and we're kind of done. We received a container of croissant, and so I'm sure the kids have already dug into that. It looks like it's been eaten in. And then the other goodie was this cinnamon cream cheesecake bites. So I know that these 2 were my portion today. The older couple that I met up with, they got 2 pecan pies, and I think another croissant and thing like this. They kept those. And then, which, again, I'm just thankful for what they give me and what they keep. I don't remember everything. I know they kept a sweet potato. I don't think they kept any grapes. No, they didn't, because I counted 9. So yeah. And then each vehicle got some vegetable beef stew. I believe, since there's a cut in here, I believe what the kids did is they brought in my 4, because I'm pretty sure I got 4, and then they just put it in this box with the other 8 from the older couple. Okay, so what I have really been wanting to do is kind of show you how I'm utilizing food from our mobile food pantry. That's actually what I had wanted to do from the beginning. I just fell off the bandwagon, so I apologize. Let's kind of talk about what we can do here, and then I will share with you a recipe that I do using some of this food. I'm mainly going to focus on what I received today because I did not go to the Tuesday one. So I will focus on the grapes, sweet potatoes, beef stew, and honestly the croissant and the other things. Those are pretty self-explanatory. With this, I tend to just put these aside for, if we need them, like if the power goes out, then we have something that we can heat up easily. We've been rotating the ones that we got earlier this year, so we're down to the last few of that. And that's kind of pretty self-explanatory. I will share with you a sweet potato recipe that you can do if you have been getting a lot of sweet potatoes. But the main thing is I'm going to can these. And I will probably have them for a few years. Yeah, look how big those are. That's almost as big as your head, John. What? All right. Thank you so much for watching. And let me share with you a sweet potato recipe. Hi everyone, it is Monday and I am in my kitchen, a very messy kitchen. We've had a crazy, busy, long week. I feel like I say that with every video, but it's just one thing after the other. You know, the week before Christmas, everybody's parties and all of that stuff is beginning, and we're wrapping up all of the handmade, homemade things that we're doing for our own family. So all of that to say, I did not get anything posted last week. I just had no time, and I didn't feel very good. So I am now going to post the mobile food pantry for you today. I did not get a recipe filmed at all. That's not to say I didn't make anything. I have made so much with those sweet potatoes. We ended up, not just what you saw, but the other older couple came and they brought us more bags, and we ended up with 17 bags of those sweet potatoes. We canned 7 quarts, which took 3 bags, so it brought us down to 14. I was able to, 2 ladies in our church, remember we share with up to 7, 2 ladies were able to, or graciously accepted them. The rest were like, we're done. And I'm like, yeah, me too. So I canned up 7, which added to the larder, as some people call it, and it added to my canning jars. So I think I'm up to 21 jars of sweet potatoes. And maybe once we're done being sweet potatoed out, I'll just open one up, mash them up, and put them in muffins or something, because we don't really like the mushy texture of a good, or of a sweet potato. I like it roasted, but once they're canned, they're very mushy. But you know, one way to use them up so they don't go to waste, right? I dehydrated 8 bags of grapes and turned them. So the bigger ones ended up with a more of a raisin texture, and nobody really enjoyed those, didn't really like them, so I just kind of put them aside and I'll make a raisin bread with them. The ones that the kids really like, and my sister, they're a little bit harder than a raisin, so they kind of have almost a crunch to them, but it's not like eating a nut. It's a very difficult thing to describe. So I got 2 pints and 2 quarts out of them. 1 pint is going to my sister. The other pint is more of the softer ones, and I'll use those for cooking. And then 2 full quarts just for snacking on and eating. They go really well in granola. Right now, I'm doing my very first ever batch of beef bone broth. I found a beef source here in town, and I was able to ask for 10 pounds of beef, and I think I paid $21 for it, which I've never paid for beef bones, so I was like, hey, I think this is a great deal, and someone confirmed for me that it's a good deal compared to what she can get it. So either way, I have 7 quarts of beef. I will probably be able to get, I'm sorry, not 7 quarts. We didn't make 7 quarts. We made 6 quarts out of my biggest stock pan. That made about 6 quarts, and I'm sorry, really dizzy. I gotta sit you down. Whew. It made 6 quarts. I think I can get another 6 quarts with making the beef bones again. So that's 12 quarts for $21. I'm pretty happy with that, and it's homemade, so that's great. Is it frugal? I think it just depends on what you're paying for beef stock. I think this one, this batch, I'll call it bone broth. And then the other one, just depending on how textured it is, maybe it'll be more like a beef stock. I'm not sure. I'm rambling. Okay. So anyway, I've been very busy. Some of the things that we made with pumpkin this week were a pumpkin snickerdoodle recipe. I'd like to see if it worked differently with like a wheat flour with the gluten-free flour. It was very cakey. So, and that might be the same with the, or maybe it would be worse. I don't know. Anyway, it was okay. Lots of pumpkin butterscotch muffins. I used that as the treat to bring to the church Christmas dinner get together last night. And then we had leftovers for breakfast. And what else? We've made a ton of pumpkin bread as gifts. And yeah, I'm done. I'm tired. On that note, I'm going to go take care of the rest of the kitchen, just try to get it somewhat cleaned, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Again, I apologize for not getting the recipe out that I wanted to go with this. We've just done what we can with what we have, where we are. And I'll see you later this week with this Wednesday's food truck haul. I did confirm that they are going to have one, with it being just before Christmas. The older couple that used to live next door, I know I have to like distinguish them, but they brought us a ham and a turkey this week as our Christmas present. I don't think that they really liked that I did baked chicken for Thanksgiving. They just kept asking like, wait, you're doing what? I'm like, I have a whole chicken. On that note, I'll talk to you later. Bye.